jump right into it. Cindy, you're first with your question. There is a specific segment in your bio that really jumped out at me. It reads, by acknowledging her clients for exactly who they are and genuinely listening to their specific needs and wants, she has redefined the traditional confusing lending process to one that is actually fun and full of peace of mind and clarity. Cindy, what exactly did you mean by those statements?
Yeah, so for me, I just really try to learn about my clients in a way that's not like, okay, here's your rate and here's your program. Like, we really try to get to know them.
Right.
We try to find out, I always ask them, why are you buying a house?
Okay.
What is your goal with this? And just kind of dig in a little bit, get to know them, understand their personality. And then that way, I think it's just a better experience for them, I'm always telling people on my team, we just want to have fun.
Yeah.
And we want our clients to have as much fun as possible during a process that can be a little arduous.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that. And so I guess some of my follow-up questions would be, do you have like an exact template? Like, is there like a list of questions that you sort of found that allow you to dive a little bit deeper and build that relationship? And I guess another question I would have is there ever a point where you say, you know what, maybe perhaps buying a house right now isn't the best choice for you?
Yeah, for sure. I think that it's good to always make sure that you're doing the right thing by the client, right? Because my ultimate goal always is that I want them to come back, right? We don't want to just have a transaction. We really want to get to know them. So yeah, there's definitely questions that I ask to dig in a little bit deeper. One of the ones is I always ask, why are you buying a house right now? What's going on in your life that's really driving this decision? And then how can we come in and help you achieve your long-term goals?
Right.
So.
Love that. Love
Yeah.
that. Now, as somebody who's also been a mortgage lender for 6 years, and in your case, you've been in the business, 21 years?
Yeah.
21 years now, and you're approaching, or you have surpassed now, $1 billion in transactions. Is there a particular segment, like a particular loan type, that people just know you for and bring you business?
Yeah, we do a little bit of everything, right? Lots of purchases, lots of refinances, different kinds of loans. But I would say jumbo is probably one that I love to do. I lived in Santa Barbara for about 9 years, and I really learned to be good at jumbo because I had to, because that was the market. And now it's here, right? And so I'd say that's a segment. And then again, first-time home buyers, I love too. And those can be the same borrower, right?
Sure.
It just depends. So I love the variety there, but I would say those two probably stick out for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just sort of touching on how the market has shifted here,
Yeah.
have you seen a massive surplus or a massive increase in your volume last year versus in, say, 2018, 2019?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I think that, with COVID, of course, rates were at all-time lows. So we had a huge refi business and then purchases as well, because even though we were in a great market here in Seattle, prices are going up, having low interest rates is really helping, people to be able to afford more. And so, yeah, we're certainly seeing a huge influx, especially in this area.
Love that. Love
Yeah.
that. How many people do you currently have on your team? And did you have to increase that member count to
Yeah.
handle the increase in volume?
Mm-hmm. We're trying.
Okay.
It's one of those things where I'm trying to be slow to hire and quick to fire, so to speak, where I want the right people.
Right.
And for me, I'd rather have someone that works hard, has high integrity, smart, willing to learn, versus bringing in somebody with more experience. Sometimes that's just a better hire. Right now, I have 2 loan partners, and then I've got a processor that are on my team. And we're maxed. We're I'd love to hire one more. I'll put it that way, but want to make sure it's the right one.
So on that, utilizing this possibly as a recruiting opportunity,
Yeah.
Who are you looking for?
Well, like I said, somebody that wants to learn, is kind of willing to roll up their sleeves and try different things and dive in where we need them to be. My business, as you guys know, is very fluid, and it's a lot of multitasking. It's pretty high stress. You're dealing with people's emotions and buying a home. So there's a lot of emotions that go into it, and I think somebody that can adapt to that and not be intimidated by it, and just really good work ethic and integrity. Those are the things. I can teach the rest, right?
Yeah.
But those things,
Right.
you can't really teach. So.
Fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions for me?
21 years, looking back, what would you tell the former Cindy Like knowing what you know now, what would you tell
question.
Cindy? Because you know, being in the business 11 years, I'm like, I tell myself constantly, man, I would never have done what I did when I started.
Yeah.
Right? 21 years is a long time in our business.
Yeah, it is. I feel old. Definitely. I would say number one, don't take things personal. You know, it can be tough in this business, right? And I would say the second one would be coached right away. Don't wait so long to be coached.
That's one I hear all the time.
Yeah.
Sadly to say, I never accepted that. I definitely should have jumped on that, because
Yeah.
those individuals that really built a big business, they all got coached early on.
Yeah.
And
It's
I know
definitely a game
the
changer.
Core is one of them, and I know that you own a coaching company. We'll jump
do.
into that later.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I think coaching is huge, and it's the things you don't know
Right.
Yeah.
that'll come back to bite you, and those will be the things that when you learn from somebody who's done it before will come back to help you. And it's like
Yeah.
getting on that express lane versus being stuck in traffic, right?
Yeah, and it's very collaborative, and it's accountability, right? I need that. I mean, as hard as I know I work, I definitely need that, because you're in the core too,
Yeah.
to just be focused and be
Clarity.
doing the right things, right?
And what is it that motivates you the most? Is it just seeing the people or your team, or what is it
Yeah.
that kind of drives you each day?
Great question. Like, I thought it was the money, and that is so down the list for me. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, for me, it really is helping other people. Like, I'm at a point in my career right now where I'm like, what excites me is helping my team achieve their goals and watching these girls grow. I'm like, man, I wish I would have had someone like that in my life when I was that age. And then just helping clients, right? And I love it when they come back.
Yes.
For me, that's what excites me.
That's fantastic. I absolutely love that. That's one thing I noticed when I was doing the initial pre-interview. And that's sort of the process. I reach out to individuals and sort of do a pre-interview to understand if they'd be a good fit for the show. And when we initially had our conversation, just how you approach answering the questions and just your presence on the phone, it was powerful, and I knew that you'd be a great fit. So I can only imagine you in the role of sort of coach and leader with your team, that you probably have a really good flow and process for that.
Yeah, I love to do it. I really do. And I think it just comes from me not having good mentors and people like that in my life when I was younger. And so I just see the value in it, and it's fun for me. So, yeah.
Well, good. Right on. Thank you so much, Cindy.
Yeah.